Before I begin, I want to ask you to hit that subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments. I promise this story is one you won't forget. I thought I had everything planned perfectly. My wife's birthday was coming up, and I'd spent weeks organizing a party I thought would be unforgettable. The decorations, the cake, the guest list. It was all my way of showing her how much she meant to me. I was proud, excited, maybe even a little nervous. I wanted it to be perfect. Then, in the middle of the party, everything shattered. She arrived late. I didn't think much of it at first. Work had been busy, she'd said. But the moment she walked in, my chest sank. She didn't see me. Not really. Her eyes scanned the room, searching until they landed on him. Her boss. And before I could even step forward to greet her, she ran straight into his arms. Not a hug, a kiss, a deep, shameless kiss that made the air between us crack. I froze. My hands were shaking. My throat burned. Guests laughed, thinking it was some kind of joke or office flirtation, but I saw everything. I felt like I had been erased, like I was standing in a room full of strangers. It hadn't started here, of course. The suspicion had been creeping up for months, subtle enough that I doubted my own instincts. Missed calls she'd brush off. Texts she'd quickly delete. Sudden late nights at work that became mandatory meetings. I told myself I was imagining things, that I was just being paranoid. But the warning signs were everywhere if I looked closely. Once, I found her phone unlocked on the counter. A message notification popped up before she snatched it away. Can't wait to see you tonight. Just us. My stomach dropped. I wanted to confront her immediately, but fear and disbelief kept me silent. I questioned myself first. Maybe I was overreacting. Maybe I had lost trust in the wrong place. And then the party. Everything I had worked for, every thoughtful detail, became irrelevant in a single moment. I remember the feeling vividly. My hands gripping the edge of the table, so hard my knuckles whitened, the bitter taste of nausea, the hum of music turning into static. Guests were oblivious. My wife and her boss weren't. Their laughter, their whispered jokes, their closeness. It was like a dagger twisting inside me. I couldn't breathe. I wanted to yell, to storm the room, to drag her away and demand answers. But my legs refused to move. I felt paralyzed by shock and disbelief. After the initial moment, I retreated to a corner, nursing a drink I couldn't swallow. I kept replaying the scene in my mind. Her smile, the way she leaned into him, the look of possessive pride on his face. I felt humiliated, invisible, betrayed in the worst possible way. Later, I confronted her privately. My voice trembled, but I forced myself to ask the question I'd been avoiding. What was that? She looked at me, eyes wide, and for a second, I saw guilt. Then came the excuses, the justifications, the rationalizations I didn't want to hear. She claimed it was harmless, that it meant nothing, that it was part of office culture. But the way she avoided my gaze, the way her hands fidgeted, told me everything I needed to know. I wanted to scream, to cry, to beg her to tell me it wasn't true. But I also wanted to preserve the last shred of my dignity. I realized then that some truths, no matter how hard to accept, demand action. The fallout wasn't dramatic. There were no shouting matches in the living room or public humiliations. Just quiet, searing pain. I walked through our apartment. Seeing her everywhere, the little notes I had left, the photos of us laughing, the reminders of our life together. Every memory felt tainted. Every moment I had cherished now tinged with betrayal. I stayed silent for a long time, letting myself feel the hurt. I questioned everything, my judgment, my worth, even the love I had believed in. But slowly, clarity emerged. I couldn't change the past. I couldn't erase what happened. What I could do was reclaim myself. We eventually separated. The conversation wasn't easy, but it was necessary. I realized that love isn't just about what you feel. It's about respect, trust, and shared loyalty. When those are gone, no amount of affection can make up for betrayal. Now I'm rebuilding. Every day, it's a small victory. A morning without doubt, a laugh without guilt, a memory that doesn't sting. I've learned that heartbreak, while excruciating, can also be transformative. I've learned to value myself above the illusions of loyalty that others may shatter. If there's one thing I want anyone listening to take from my story, it's this. Betrayal doesn't define your worth. It doesn't make you weak. It just shows you what you no longer need to tolerate. And sometimes, the hardest heartbreak is the one that teaches you the most about your own strength. So, if you've ever felt that sting of betrayal, I want you to remember this story. Remember that you can rise from the pain, that you can reclaim your life, and that your dignity is never negotiable. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stories like this. And I really want to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever experienced betrayal? How did you handle it? Sharing your thoughts could help someone else feel less alone.